It was a dark and stormy night. All was well inside the cell until
Gasp! The plasma membrane! It's tearing!
an unknown substance had entered the cell through the plasma membrane, which had been torn. Now the only question was, who did it? The components of the cell called a meeting to order. They needed to fix this problem before it was too late.
Order! Order! We should have all noticed by now that the plasma membrane has been torn, and a substance has somehow entered the plasma membrane.
I absolutely think it was a molecule of water. Water is so sneaky, always seeping through the cracks.
But Golgi, that's not possible, because water can move across the plasma membrane through diffusion, like other small molecules and ions. It can also move across the membrane through osmosis, where osmotic flow is set up for a solvent.
Amino acids in a protein. What's a protein to a membrane? What's a membrane to a cell? What's a cell to a human being who is so big? We need proteins to keep cells alive. All right. Membranes keep cells alive.
I don't understand how this could have happened. The only things I've noticed recently entering the cell were some nutrients and sugars through mediated transport. I've also noticed some waste exiting the cell, nothing out of the ordinary.
Maybe you didn't see anything, but while the membrane of a vesicle was being fused with the plasma membrane in exocytosis, I thought I noticed an odd-looking material. Something seemed off about that amino acid, but maybe my lack of ribosomes is causing me to see things.
These are all interesting points, but I think the true question here is whether this is a substance from the outside breaking in, or a component of the cell trying to destroy us all.
In fact, we've been considering over this very carefully as you've all been talking. As 3 different types of amphipathic lipids, we have triple the brain power: phospholipids, glycolipids, and cholesterol. We want to review some facts of this situation. First of all, the plasma membrane, also known as the cell membrane, is the cell's outer boundary. And in an animal cell like ours, it is a flexible lipid bilayer. It covers the cell surface and acts as a barrier between the inside and outside of a cell. All materials enter and exit through the plasma membrane. The membranes consist of a fatty substance called a phospholipid. The plasma membrane is a fluid mosaic model and does not determine the shape of the cell. The cytoskeleton determines the cell shape, but the cell membrane supports it.
Right, and the plasma membrane also contains carbohydrates and proteins. Proteins are important to the functioning of the cell membrane because they transport chemicals and information across the membrane. Proteins in the cell are integral proteins and peripheral proteins, which are only on one side of the cell membrane. Now, I just have one question. The cell membrane can regulate what comes in and out of it, so how can an unknown substance enter?
This is what we've been thinking about. And finally, we came to the answer. We don't know. We don't know what happened.
Great, you guys are a big help.
Wait, we're not finished. The plasma membrane was torn. However, the cell membrane can fix itself when it is torn. Before long, everything will be back to normal.
Thank goodness. It looks like we've got this mystery under control.
But what will we do until the plasma membrane is fixed?
I know. Let's review all we know about the plasma membrane so we can make sure that this never can happen again.
Cell membrane. Cell
The membrane.
Cell membrane. Oh. My lipids protect me so well. Makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a pair of hydrophilic and phobic lipids that keep things from bringing you down. A super safe membrane that saves the whole town, and I'm known as such. And this is a cell. You can't touch. I told you, viruses, you can't touch this. Yeah, I keep cells living, and you can't touch this. Look in my eye, even in the eyes, man. You can't touch this. You know I only allow some things through me. You can't touch this.
I surround the cell just like pants, knowing that my cells are so safe makes me want to dance. So move out of your seat. Cells don't have a set shape when they're in me. Meanwhile, plants have set shapes and the edges are very flat. And let them know what's going on like that. Membrane on a mission to protect the cells and they won't lack. Let them know that you're too much and this is a cell, you can't touch. Yo, I told you, you can't touch this. While you floating there, bacteria, you can't touch this.
Yo, tell the viruses they're suckers. They
Can't touch this.
And all was well once more, for now.